Hello, what you're seeing here is a start to my bone broth, and this is how I make bone broth, and I know there's a whole lot of different ways to do it, so I'll tell you how I do it. So what you see in here is the sleeve to my Instant Pot. I'm gonna put all of it into the Instant Pot. I've got just some celery scraps, onion scraps, salt, pepper, and onion powder. I've got some ginger paste, some garlic, actual garlic, and what is that other stuff? Oh, a little bit, like a tablespoon of better for bouillon chicken flavor. And then lastly, I put a glug of this. And this helps supposedly to draw out the goodness from the bones. So, you don't taste vinegar at all in the broth when you do this. It's just for helping. Oh, there's a fight. Are you vicious? Are you vicious? Oh, she's vicious. Oh, that's him. Sorry. Okay, so excuse the dirty oven. Here's what else is going to go into the Instant Pot. What this is the bones and leftover like gristle, and I picked all of the good meat off of the carcass of a whole chicken. I cooked the whole chicken by roasting it in the oven, took off the meat, put the bones in business. I don't use the skin. I take all the skin off and put it back in here to roast. I find that it makes the flavor deeper if I re-roast the actual bones. They're about ready to take out, and when I do, I'm going to put them in the pot with the veggies and the ginger and the vinegar and all of that, and put them on the Instant Pot for a while. Here's the meat that I actually took off the carcass, or whatever you want to call it, and there was a lot more, but it's been eaten, a bunch of it's with like sandwiches and stuff like that. And today I made ramen. It's a brown rice and millet ramen that I like to make instead of like regular ramen. I don't know how else to say that. Anyway, this is what's left of that chicken. I'll keep that in the fridge, and they'll just have at it until it's gone usually. Or I'll make, like sometimes I'll make chicken pot pie with it or something. So I took the meat out of the oven. Here I go. I took the bones out of the oven. I'm going to put all of this, juice and all, because this will turn into a wonderful broth, into that pot with the Instant Pot. Don't think I gave you any time, because what I'm looking for is to see it get real brown, and I did. On how much to roast, how long. But I did cook it on 375. I don't know if you could cook it higher or low, it probably wouldn't matter that much, but that's how I did it. Oh, here we have the empty dish that had the chicken carcass in it, and it's in here. And I'll stir it up just a bit. Let's break this. This is like the rib cage, whatever. Break that up some. Get it all stirred together. Now it doesn't matter, because nobody's going to eat any of this meat that's in here or the veggies. This is all going to be strained and used for bone broth, just broth. And I use this broth for, especially if somebody has a cold or something, because it's wonderful for that. It's healing. It just has all kinds of goodness in it. I'm going to try to link where I take my recipe from. It's been a few years since I looked how to make this, and so I'm sure there's differences as my way has kind of morphed a little bit. I'll add some water to this, maybe half by half. What I mean by half is up to about here. You can't even tell. Let me try this. Up to about here. Okay. And then now, after it's completely done, I'll just let it cool. And then I'll strain it through to another pot, and none of the solids will go in. It'll be clear. Then I'll put it into glass jars. Now the glass jars I'll show you that later. I have to get them out. They have to be certain glass jars. You can also use food safe bags. And I put it in the refrigerator individually, not all in the same container, because you might want to use it individually. Then when it's cold, any of the fat that's left over, I will skim off the top and get rid of that. I don't use the fat. I only want the broth. So anyway, that's my story, and on to the Instant Pot. Here's what I got out with the slotted spoon. really, really soft onions and celery and some bones and some fat and things like that. And here's what it looks like now that I've gotten most of the solids out. I can still get some, but it's just going to be easier to do it with a, strainer than a spoon, I mean. So, that's next. Left in the pan, this bit of, probably, I don't know, onion bits and celery bits and ginger and garlic and that kind of thing. And this has basically been all through the, the whole strainer system thing here. And it's done. And it's screaming hot. It's on a thing here because I didn't know what it would do. I don't know how hot this countertop takes. But I'm thinking it'll be at least 2 hours before I can put this in jars. And it's 7 o'clock now, so we're looking at 9 o'clock. And then it's got to go in the refrigerator after it's cool enough, and I'll take the fat off in the morning, I guess. I was hoping to have this done, but we'll see. Okay, so here we go. This is these are the jars that I use, and I wanted to show you the difference. So you want to use, if you're going to freeze it and not, use a pressure cooker, pressure canner to make them shelf ready or stable, I use it straight up and down. Do not use the kind with the bell curve. This isn't clean. I just got it out to show you. These will break when it freezes. About 50% of the time they'll break, and they're too expensive to lose. Straight up and down is best. Make sure that your jars are warm. I run hot water over these jars to warm them up. Then I use a funnel and I fill them about 3/4 of the way full. You don't want to fill them all the way, also causes breakage. When it looks like it's about 3/4 of the way, by the time it freezes with all the stuff that comes to the top, it'll almost be full. So be aware of that. And then they need to be put in the refrigerator when they're cool enough, and they can't be put in the freezer until they are cold, like refrigerator cold, whatever a refrigerator cold is. Is it like 38, 40 degrees or something? I don't know. So that's when they go in the freezer. And don't put a lid on tight, just finger tight. Means put it on there and just barely tighten it, enough so that it's closed. Here we go. They're in the jars, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 jars, and there's just a little bit left in here, and I ran out of jars. I could have gone out to storage and gotten more jars, but my heart wasn't in it. So that last little bit will be for something else, I guess. So these are cool enough that I can pick them up, and they sure were not when I started. And you can see, that line right there? That's the fat starting to separate at the top. I'll just skim that off with a spoon, and I'll be able to get this in the fridge tonight, I think. Yay! Not the freezer, but the fridge. I'm not going out in the dark to the freezer, to the shed. And that's my story. Good morning. It's time to get up. It's early out there. The only lights that are up for Christmas are the ones along the railing of the porch. Anyway, there it is. And there's the plant this morning. Oh, the second one is about completely open now. The second blossom, I guess. So cool. The dishes were done when I went to bed, I promise. Anyway, I've got my coffee going here. I'm going to have some Pete's hazelnut mocha. Yum, yum. Half and half. And I wanted to show you, these are cold. You can't really tell, but they're kind of thick and gelatinous, and that's how you want them. And if I had it to do over again, I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't cook it long enough. I mean, it's long enough. It's not done, but I should have done longer. So I'll take all the jars, can't remember how many there are in total, put them in the freezer out in the shop, and take them out as needed. Either if I'm short on regular broth for soup, or if I feel like somebody's not well and they can do with some healing broth, bone broth. So, chicken bone broth a la Kendra. I could not find the old tutorial online last night. I looked before I went to bed that I was going to link. So I'll link someone else. It's kind of the same. I just liked this guy. I think he was, it still is, I'm sure. I just can't find him. A chiropractor or something. And he did it in his kitchen. Just really, really did it well. So it's gone now. And, you know, truth be told, this was years and years and years ago. So no wonder I can't find it. And so anyway, that's my story. If you like stuff like this, I would love it if you subscribed and gave me a thumbs up. See, like that, thumbs up. Or if you would just like, and we'll get to know one another. What time is it? 7:15. I think I was up more than I should have been last night. And I got to refill this thing. It gets empty fast. It gets empty fast. Knocked over the Advil, Benadryl, vitamin C. I wish I could remember to take this every day. I know it would make me feel better, especially taking this. All right, anyway, babble, babble. I'm half awake. Have a great day. Mwah.